You would point a gun at me?
The doctor would. He programmed it to make sure I would go through
with it.
God,
and his grandparents.
He didn't want to hurt you, just like he didn't want to hurt Mac. It's just... I wouldn't have done any of this if I didn't believe it was going to work.
Oh my God.
You don't know it's going to work.
It's a sound. There are always risks involved. You know that, Gemma.
You're right. But potentially paralyzing Daisy or destroying the world are two massive risks, Fizz.
Oh my God.
Let's hope that that doesn't happen.
Oh my God.
No,
this is not what I wanted to happen.
No, please. Fizz, I am begging you. Please, you do not want to do this.
Oh my God.
No. I don't. But I have to.
No.
Are we okay, Daisy? All of you. I mean, I don't know if it's but oh my God.
I'll never forgive you.
Oh my God.
I suspect you won't be the only one.
I can't breathe. I'm not breathing, my God. What's he doing now? Oh my God.
The adrenaline will help jumpstart your powers. Here's what you need to do. You need to compress the gravitonium down as much as possible.
Oh God, I feel sick.
Then carefully guide it over and insert it into the sphere.
I love you, Daisy. Oh my God. I actually am still not able to process everything that has happened in this episode so far. I'm gonna throw up. Oh, Daisy, can I just hug her? And Gemma. He kept going after he realised what was happening.
You were my conscience.
Then what was he?
The devil.
But that dark persona, that's not you.
No,
It is me.
It isn't Fitz, but I made you keep going when he realised what was happening, but it isn't Fitz. It's not our Fitz.
It was me.
They can come to forgive you if you just explain.
I don't deserve forgiveness, Gemma.
Just like you don't deserve me.
That's why you
Mac's
said
injured. Daisy's traumatized. Do you know what the worst part about all of this is? I still believe that it was the right thing to do.
If we are going to change the timeline, we have to do things differently, make harder choices.
You could have at least talked to Daisy about having the inhibitor removed first, explained why he wanted it.
I really don't know where we go from here.
Neither. That's his grandparents.
I don't know.
I don't really know how to process it.
Me neither.
You know him better than he even knows himself. That's why you let him win arguments sometimes, right? He could be a real baby when he's sick, so that's why you gotta take care of him.
That's what he was told by his grandparents.
And he's always got the weight of the world on his shoulders. That's why he needs you there to help lighten the load.
Oh gosh.
Oh, and he loves his prosciutto and mozzarella sandwiches that no one can make right except you.
Oh my god.
How could you possibly know all those things?
Your grandson.
Because my mom used to tell me about parents all the time. She always spoke about her dad with so much love and admiration on her face. Said that he was the best man she ever knew. So I know that you can help Fitz. And I know that you two are gonna be okay. Because
My grandparents.
the steps you take don't need to be big.
I just need to take you in the right direction. You're a grandson.
I can't cope with it. I don't blame her. I don't even know what thoughts are anymore. That episode. It's S.H.I.E.L.D. It's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was going to be a good episode. It was going to be a big episode because that's what they've done, and I don't know how to cope with this because too much happened for my brain. Okay, first of all, I really wanted to see Daisy again at the end of the episode to, you know, check in on her, to, I don't know, just make sure that she was doing okay or doing as well as she could be after everything, because Daisy is everything to me. She's such an important character in my life. I'm not okay after that episode. Like, I genuinely think I need to go and lie down now for a while because my brain is just going, Fitz, like, they're trying to process this and riddle it out. Obviously, we know Fitz has been dealing with feeling like his framework persona ever since. Things like the way he decapitated those Kree without a second thought, and other things like that. The way that he, you know, came up with a solution that had someone needing to sacrifice himself and kind of wasn't overly worried about it. I mean, obviously at the time he just said he didn't like it, but just, he's been dealing with that since the framework, and we knew that. But to this extent, we had no idea. And then, so you're meant to think initially it was his framework persona kind of took over the good Fitz, the Fitz we knew, and did the stuff that Fitz knew he couldn't do himself, even though he believed it had to be done. But then in that moment when Daisy and Gemma and Deke, and it was obvious to him that what was happening was him, it wasn't a vision of the Doctor, because he'd gone from his Fitz side of him fighting the Doctor side of him. But then it came together. In the absolute coldest of senses, he had a point. The only way to put the gravitonium in the thing to make it work so they could close the rift was Daisy, but he didn't even try and ask her. He could have, I mean, she probably would have said no, but you never do that. You do not, everything that he did was so utterly wrong, and you cannot come back from something that wrong. There are much more humane ways to do it if it had to be done. And I mean, first of all, just trying to convince her to do it. She's your friend, you're a family, you don't do that. You don't do what you did to Mac, you don't do what you did to Daisy, to Deke even. Like, I mean, Fitz has always been my second favourite character, and so my second favourite character doing that to my favourite character, I genuinely, how do I go on with this knowledge in my head? I think I'm going to have to lie down and then immediately rewatch the episode to just try and fix my thoughts, because, oh my god, I mean, I don't know how Fitz can come back from this. I mean, he can, because the Fitz that we've known from the pilot would not have done that like that. He wouldn't have. He might have suggested it, he might have tried to convince people to help him convince Daisy, he might have done anything like that, but he wouldn't have gone about it in such a cold, detached manner. I don't know, he just wouldn't have. So in that sense, it's not our Fitz. I mean, we might have to deal with the reality that our Fitz is gone. I mean, he can come back, he can be the dominant part of Fitz, but he's never going to be like he was because of the framework. But I believe with Simmons we can get through that. I mean, like Deke said, you know, the Fitz that was alive in that future world was good. He was kind Fitz. He didn't have weird Doctor moments. So I think we can save him. And, I mean, I guess Daisy will in time be able to forgive him. I mean, once she gets over the trauma of everything that just happened, and especially if her powers don't destroy the world. And I mean, it's similar to something she went through with Hive. It's different situations, because obviously at no point was she given back control while working for Hive to then continue hurting people. And so in that sense, I think she could maybe find some way to understand him given time, but I think she will need time, and they all will. I feel awful for Gemma. I feel awful for Fitz, to be honest, but I feel awful for Gemma after everything. But I think in a lot of ways, Deke, she's in that moment, was really beautiful, because he was able to tell her there's hope, because I lived in my life that happened. You saved Fitz. So I think that was really beautiful. I mean, I don't blame Gemma for throwing up. I did spend most of this episode wanting to throw up. I think if I then had that knowledge on top of me, it would have been, you know, much closer. But yeah, I don't blame her. I think I'm really intrigued to see what happens next on that front, and that Gemma knows, because, oh my god, they are not slowing down. Like, I thought, you know, we were going to know, and they weren't for a few episodes. And they told Deke Deke knew almost immediately, and then Gemma has immediately found out. They're not slowing down. This episode of this show will go on as one of the most absolute, like, mind twisty, explodey, how do I live episodes. I mean, the stuff that happened with Coulson and May and the general, I kind of don't care about. Like, I do care about deeply, and I know when I rewatch it now, I will be much more invested in what they're saying. I mean, Coulson, I thought it was a trap from the beginning because it was just too easy, and then I loved the whole plane thing. Like, that was quite cool with the way they got the car. But then obviously it was all a trap, and Coulson's with her, but I guess he'll be quite able to find out some information there. I mean, she's working for people that give her that stuff. Is that the same stuff that the Kree had, you know, that you drink and your veins go black and then you're super killer and you die? If it's that stuff, then I guess it's linked to the Kree coming, which is all linked to how the world's going to be destroyed. And they said hail Hydra, of course they did. So yeah, there's a lot more to happen there, and I think Coulson is going to find out a lot more information that could help us by being there. I feel really bad for May with that, but I mean, May is going to go home and find out that all hell has broken loose in their absence. Literally. I don't know. Can we just go back to the beginning of the episode when the cameras went dark, and then I can be like, hey Daisy, why don't you just go chill with him, Yo-Yo and Mac and Gemma, and then they can just like lock the door on Fitz and then everything will be fine, right? Where does this show go from here? This show, I love it. I mean, like I said, I believe Fitz can be saved. I think it's going to take Daisy some time, Mac some time, me some time to be fully okay with him, but I think he can change and he can prove that he's our Fitz, and, you know, he's Fitz. Everything Deke said about, like, the sandwich and knowing what he was like, it was just, oh my god. Like, my brain, I can't even process a coherent thought, so I am probably going to stop this ramble here, because I don't know. How do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. expect all of us, to live our lives for the next week? Like, go to work on Monday, you know, walk around, talk to people, and not be like, did you see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Oh my god. Like, how do they honestly think we're supposed to do that after an episode like this? So yeah, I'm gonna go die for a while. Thank you for watching.